Welcome, everyone, to Fanboy Frenzy, the only podcast on the internet whose host thinks like Batman but looks more like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I am your host, Ryan Jarvis. And for any of you that actually got that very obscure Batman reference, kudos to you, or huzzahs, Aquaman would say. Well, I'm pretty much in a jovial mood. Please excuse the mess or lack thereof of anything behind me. This is Fanboy Frenzy headquarters is under remodel, and so as you see more and more videos coming out in 2016, you'll see quite a few things changing. But enough of that. On to what's really important. Now, just to let you know, this guy right here couldn't be more of a Batman fanboy. This is what I do all week. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I have literally been changing lock screens and stuff on my phone ever since Monday. I've been just trying to line up, okay, every day different lock screen, getting me set up for what is to be known as the Day of Judgment for all Superman fans. We'll get more into that later, but the one thing that needs to be mentioned is obviously this movie. This movie I predicted would break records. I predicted the Batman vs. Superman on podcasts back in the day. I made it very clear that I felt this movie could dethrone a lot of Marvel movies just because you have the Golden Age trilogy, meaning you have Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in the same movie at the same time. How could you go wrong? Here's a no-brainer. You can't. You absolutely can't. Shovel shit to me, and I'm going to eat it because it's Batman, it's Superman, it's Wonder Woman, all in one movie, all at one time. Please don't touch me, okay? I'm having a moment here, all right? So, just got back from it. Fresh review from Fanboy Frenzy. I'm only going to take a couple of minutes because I just want to outline my initial thoughts. Maybe down the road in the next couple of days, I plan on getting some guests, and then we'll do more of a in-depth, spoiler-filled review. But I just want you to know, Fanboy Frenzy Army, that this movie is absolutely 100% worth your time to go see. And yes, I am a Batman fanboy. Yes, fanboys sometimes make decisions based on, dare I say, emotion or not necessarily fact per se. But I'm telling you, you have to go see this movie. Matter of fact, pause the video right now and just go watch the movie. Then come back and check it out. And then you'll see 100% without a shadow of a doubt, it's on. The movie is, I'm not going to use the word, it's just freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am so happy that Ben Affleck, Batfleck himself, owned this role. He owned the movie 2 years ago, year and a half-ish, when it was mentioned that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman. Almost everybody I knew was drinking haterade like crazy because they couldn't believe that the asshole from Fashionable Male in Mallrats ends up being Batman all of a sudden. Well, let me tell you, that a-hole from Fashionable Male now is completely 100% in my mind this new generation of Batman. And to know that this guy, Ben Affleck, is going to be playing Batman, not only in the Suicide Squad movie coming out later this year, but for the entirety of the DC Cinematic Universe, and at least up to this point. That makes me excited. And Henry Cavill did a great job as Superman. He did, obviously, Man of Steel did great. In this movie, he brought a little bit more humanity to Man of Steel. Or to the Man of Steel, should I say. So, everybody really owned their part. But you know what? To all you haters out there that said, I got to back up, that said Ben Affleck couldn't do it, I had a toy I was going to show you. Actually, I'm not going to show you. If you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you already get it. Star Wars already did it for me. But the point is, Ben Affleck owned it, and everybody's going to have to bow down because Batfleck made it happen, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, with that being said, here we go. Gal Gadot, where the hell her name is anyway, Gal. So call her G squared or whatever, G double. If you wonder how she is a Wonder Woman, how did she do? What did she do? Was she good? Was she not good? She didn't seem to be busty enough to be Wonder Woman, to be honest with you. If you ever seen the cartoon, I don't know how Wonder Woman runs. But the point I'm making is, did she do it? Yes, she did it. She did great as Wonder Woman. She had a class about her. And I think that that's something that isn't always translated when people talk about Wonder Woman, because you got to remember, Wonder Woman is a dignitary. Wonder Woman is Amazonian. She represents Amazonian women and the nation. And so you have to have Themyscira, I think is the name of it. You have to have her in a role where she can communicate and she looks beautiful. Obviously she's a fine-looking woman, but that's beside the point. She can fight, she can speak, she's smart, she's intelligent, and all that is conveyed in minimal scenes in the movie, really. I mean, she has her parts, but it's really minimal, her role in the movie. Now, I think I'm going to wait to talk with the spoiler review and kind of talk about some of the cameos or Easter eggs that are in here, because there are plenty, and I mean plenty. But I walked into the movie and seeing certain scenes, and I didn't know how to take them, but after watching the movie, now I fully understand that I was dead wrong on some of the predictions that I made. I will tell you this. Towards the end of the movie, you start noticing the speed, the pacing starts picking up, because I'd say the first half of the movie is heavy on dialogue, not necessarily heavy on action. But that's okay, because if you've ever watched Watchmen, Batman versus Superman has Watchmen filtered into it. In other words, it's got that hardcore reality and the idea of trying to be almost a comic book movie and a philosopher movie at the same time. It's basically the trajectory of all of that, put into one little hump and sprinkled with fanboy nods and odes to previous movies, to previous characters, and also dropping in all kinds of Easter eggs into one big basket for our enjoyment, DC fanboys and fangirls. Now, the movie obviously has some pretty bad reviews initially, starting Thursday, which goes to show you that if you gave the movie a bad review, it's because you're not good enough for the movie. I'm just telling you, you're not. You shouldn't be reviewing comic book movies, because my buddy, Johnny Meds, he'll be on the Fanboy Frenzy podcast here in the next couple of days. He himself said it on a Facebook post before he even went to the theater. He literally put, I've been waiting for this moment since I was 5 years old to finally see Batman and Superman together, having at it, not fighting, but just being together. The birth of the Justice League. Why is the movie called Dawn of Justice? Because the Justice League, the beginning of it is right there, right in front of us, man. And all three of those actors, Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and Gal Gadot, whatever, they all are a perfect foundation for what's coming. Now, one of the reasons people said that this movie was kind of biting the big one was because they said it wasn't very fun. They said it wasn't fun. It was kind of humdrum. And to be honest with you, it's not that. Does it have a darker tone? Yes, it has a darker tone. We're dealing with loss. We're dealing with not just loss of personal loss. We're dealing with the idea of a man like Superman, Clark Kent, trying to find his way in a world where people are using, they're throwing the Jesus Christ type of references towards him. And if you know anything about, the Superman character, two Jewish creators, Schuster and Simon, I think, or Schuster and whatever, they created Superman's character. And Superman was that Christ-like savior that came from beyond, that came from another place, another planet, another dimension, etc., to come here and does not show favoritism. That is the picture of Superman. And in this movie, he's trying to struggle to find his place, but there's a man known as Lex Luthor that everybody knows is in the movie, so it's not like it's a spoiler. And I tell you what, Eisenberg owned this role. I was surprised. He came across as creepy. He came across as kind of hipster and nerdy all at the same time. But, he was a slightly different take on Lex Luthor. Like, when I think Lex Luthor, I think businessman. I think like an evil Tony Stark. An evil Bruce Wayne, a billionaire that's a businessman that does backroom deals, like the epic politician. But, the way that this all pans out and how he interacts with the other characters really makes me excited to see what they have in store for the future. Because I'm going to tell you what, I love watching the old Justice League cartoons. On Netflix, they got Justice League Unlimited or something like that. And, there's a lot of stories about Lex Luthor trying to find like a superpower or like this one special power, or how he's going to harness this power from beyond, and then come to find out that he opens up something, a can of worms, if you will, a Pandora's box, if you will, that he knows he should never have opened up. And you see some of that in this movie, and it made me freaking geek out in the movie to know that they're doing some of that. Finally, DC, the cinematic universe, has been birthed. Marvel has kicked DC's ass from pillar to post for a good 6 to 8 years, maybe. I don't know the exact time. If it weren't for Batman, there'd be no DC cinematic universe, because Superman Returns sucked and Man of Steel was okay, but it wasn't that great to begin with. You put Batman in there, you start putting the rest of the DC characters, and now we know that when Suicide Squad comes out, Batfleck will be in it too, and so now you know that you have a shared universe finally. Just like Marvel has, DC set it up with this movie, and I'm giving it a thumbs up. Actually, 2 thumbs up, you know. I have more than 1 thumb. But anyway, you get 2 thumbs up from Ryan Jarvis, co-owner, producer, talent of Fanboy Frenzy. I tell you to please go out, check out this movie, and comment below and let us know here at Fanboy Frenzy headquarters exactly how you feel about Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes and be looking, please, at the bottom. Make sure you sub, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and you can visit us at facebook.com/Fanboy Frenzy. Mixcloud.com/Fanboy Frenzy, which you can download all of our free podcasts dealing with everything from video games to pro wrestling, comic books, etc., etc. If it's pop culture entertainment, it's Fanboy Frenzy. And you can find us on Vine. We tweet, you name it. Please go and check us out and make sure your voice is heard. Thank you so much again. We'll see you next time with a spoiler-filled review of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Thank you.